All right, let's dive right in. Today, we are breaking down a really important strategic brief from Bob Slavic over at Virtualization Options LLC. And what we're talking about is a massive leap forward in cyber threats. We're well past the era of obvious clunky scams. We're now in a whole new world of incredibly sophisticated, AI-driven attacks that are specifically designed to fool just about anyone. And I'm telling you, this isn't science fiction anymore. This is happening right now.
This quote from the brief really just says it all, doesn't it? Forget about those clumsy emails you used to get, the ones about a foreign prince needing your help. Those days are pretty much over. The threat landscape we're facing today is filled with strategic, hyper-realistic campaigns, all powered by AI, and they're not just designed to get past our spam filters. They're designed to exploit our most fundamental vulnerability, our human trust.
So first, let's get some context. We need to trace how these attacks evolved, because understanding how we got here is key. We're going from simple spam to the surgical strikes we see today.
You can really see the evolution pretty clearly. It all started with what we call phishing 1.0. That was the classic spray and pray era. Just blast out a million emails and hope someone clicks. Then things got a little smarter with 2.0. We saw targeted attacks, impersonating executives, business email compromise. But now we're in phishing 3.0, and this is a total game changer. AI is now generating perfectly crafted emails, it's cloning voices, it's creating deepfake videos, it's deception on a scale we've just never seen before.
I mean, just look at the difference here. The contrast is so stark. Traditional attacks were noisy, full of typos, pretty easy to spot, right? But these new AI-driven attacks, they're silent, they're precise, and they are deeply personal. And AI can mimic a writing style perfectly. It can understand the context of a conversation, and it can create a sense of urgency that feels completely real. And it can do all of this at a massive, massive scale.
And this isn't just some theoretical risk we're talking about. These attacks are causing very real, very substantial financial losses. And when you see the numbers, they're absolutely staggering.
The financial hit is just immense. The FBI is estimating that the annual losses from this type of fraud now top $12.5 billion. That is a massive drain on the economy, affecting every industry.
And the really scary part is that the damage can come from just one single, devastating incident. Case in point, one Australian mining company lost $25 million. Not from a huge complex breach, but from a single scam call using a deepfaked voice.
And if you're thinking, well, this must be pretty rare, I'm afraid you'd be wrong. These attacks are anything but rare. We're now seeing over 800 deepfake video attacks reported every single month around the world. That just shows you how accessible and scalable this threat has become.
Let's just go back to that $25 million story for a second. An employee gets a call from someone they absolutely believed was their CFO. The voice was cloned by AI. But the key here, the reason the scam worked, was because it exploited one single critical vulnerability. The company simply didn't have a mandatory rule for secondary verification. That's it.
Okay, so if we're going to build a solid defense, we have to understand the offense, right? So let's break down the anatomy of a typical AI attack. It really comes down to three key vectors: email, voice, and video.
Email is still the #1 way in, but AI has basically given it superpowers. It makes attacks like spear phishing hyper-effective by drafting emails that perfectly match a CEO's tone, reference a project you just talked about, and create a believable sense of urgency. It makes them almost impossible to tell from the real thing.
Next up is what we call vishing, or voice phishing. An AI can create a totally convincing vocal impersonation from just a few seconds of audio it finds online, like from a podcast or a company video. The red flags you need to listen for are that sudden, unexpected urgency, any kind of pressure to keep it a secret, and of course, any request to bypass your normal procedures.
And finally, we have the pinnacle of deception, the deep fake video. This one is so dangerous because it exploits our built-in trust in face-to-face communication. But here's the good news. The tech isn't perfect, yet. So you have to look for the subtle flaws, weird facial movements or blinking, lighting that just looks off, or audio that's just a tiny bit out of sync with their lips. And always trust your gut if someone's behavior just feels wrong.
Okay, we've defined the problem. It's a bit scary, I know. But now let's focus on the solution, because we absolutely can fight back. The brief we're looking at today outlines a defense strategy that's built on three really powerful pillars.
And here they are. It's simple, memorable, technology, process, and people. The key thing to remember is that these three pillars don't work in isolation. They have to support each other. Think of it like a three-legged stool. Take one away, and the whole thing falls over. Together, they create real resilience against these advanced threats.
So pillar number 1, technology. Look, you can't fight these super smart AI attacks with old-school tools. The mantra here is simple. You have to fight AI with AI. This means investing in modern defenses. Things like AI-powered email filters, software that can detect deepfakes, and voice authentication that can spot synthetic media in real time.
Second, and you could argue this is the most important one, is process. Technology is great, but it can fail. A rock-solid process is your ultimate safety net. And the single most effective defense is what's called independent verification. If you get an urgent, sensitive request, you have to verify it through a separate, trusted channel. Hang up and call them back on their official office number. That one simple step stops most of these attacks cold.
And the third pillar is people. For so long, we've called our employees the weakest link. That's just wrong. They are your last and often your most critical line of defense. This means we have to give them continuous training with real-world examples. But even more important is creating a blame-free culture where anyone feels empowered to question an unusual request, even if it seems to come from the CEO, without any fear of getting in trouble.
And I want you to know, this framework really works. There's a great story about a financial analyst who got a deepfake video call from her CFO asking for a $3.2 million transfer. The video was convincing, but something just felt off. So she trusted her instincts. That's the people pillar. And she followed the process of independent verification. And boom, she prevented the fraud. That is process and people working together perfectly. So we have the framework, but none of this works without leadership. Just being aware of the problem isn't enough. A real defense requires a serious commitment, from the top all the way down, to modernize how an organization thinks about security. The brief gives 4 crystal-clear directives for leaders. 1. Champion a verify, then trust culture. 2. Invest in the right AI-powered defenses. 3. Treat your people as your best security asset, not your weakest link. And 4. Prioritize fast, blame-free reporting of incidents. But if there's one single thing for leaders to take away from all of this, it's this. The most powerful defense you have is procedural. They absolutely must mandate and personally model independent verification for all sensitive requests. When the C-suite lives by this rule, it becomes part of the company's DNA.
And that brings us to our final thought for today. You know, these new threats aren't just attacking our firewalls or our servers. They're engineered to attack our psychology. They take our natural human instinct to trust each other and be helpful, and they turn it into a weapon against us. So the question we all really need to ask ourselves is this. In the age of AI, is our trust our greatest vulnerability?